Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across our beloved empire, to the first Arnold HoloNet News of 2022, where today we are getting our first breaking news for Galaxy of Heroes in the brand new year. And you guys thought I was crazy! We had the tinfoil hat on and we predicted this, but no one wanted to believe me. Well, who's laughing now? Probably Emphas next. Anyways, Iden Versio is officially confirmed for Star Wars Galaxy. I made a video the other day, card in the top right hand corner. If you didn't believe in my conspiracy theories, well, now you do. The actress that played Iden Versio inside of Battlefront 2 did a little bit of interesting dialogue back and forth on Twitter with Sam Witwer. And I said this before, celebrities don't just tweet about Galaxies. When they do, it always ends up being something. And here again, we're 3 or 4 out of 4 with celebrities tweeting about SWGOH. And her character, Iden Versio, is coming to Galaxies, and it's quite interesting. She's meant to create a second Imperial Trooper team. Not going to be really a part of the Imperial Remnants. Not going to be part of the Veers crew, but she does have a cleanse and is going to make use out of the leftover Imperial Troopers. Although I am a bit disappointed that Gideon isn't going to get any love out of hers. We're going to see here in a moment. So let's go ahead. First, take a look at the character. Actually, before we move over, this looks like it's going to be a marquee event. Thing that's just being announced like this kind of out of the blue. So I suspect Thursday we're gonna be able to get our hands on it. And if we want to see firsthand testing, and we just happen to have some of the best troopers in the galaxy, be sure to tune in. I'm guessing Thursdays when the testing's gonna happen. But if you read this image, it says legacy character card, Iden Versio. Makes me wonder if we're gonna do like another type of Star Killer event buildup, perhaps, where you're going to get a lot of characters from other games out there, maybe from Legends. Although she is not a Legends character, she is canon. And it's funny because when Star Killer was announced, we predicted that Iden Versio is going to be one of the characters required, because we thought, all right, they're going to be celebrating the big Star Wars games. Well, she wasn't required for Star Killer, but it's funny to see 2 months later, she's added to Galaxy of Heroes, and this might be a lot of hope for the Cal Kestis fans out there. She might come around and maybe lead us maybe a Cal Kestis. We'll have to wait and see. Let's just take things one step at a time. The fact that it matters, in 2022, we're starting off with an Imperial Trooper. You gotta love it, baby. So here we go. Can't reveal Iden Versio, Inferno Squad. When I see stuff like this, it makes me think they're kind of making sure they leave the door open for another variant. As you guys may know, spoiler alert, Battlefront 2 took a very sudden change from the Imperial view all of a sudden to the Rebel view. So there might be a very good likelihood that sometime down the road we can get a light side, a Rebel version of Iden Versio, and you're kind of getting a 2-for-1 character special. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tags that we have here. We have Dark Side, Attacker, Leader, Empire, Imperial Trooper, and no Imperial Remnant tag. When we had our speculation tinfoil hat, I was hoping for support and maybe an Imperial Remnant to kind of fit in that last slot of Gideon. Unfortunately, Troopers are getting another attacker, so Imperial Remnant's not going to be the case, and their kit doesn't really work if there's another leader ability inside the team. So Tenacious Empire Attacker, who expertly takes out foes while supporting her squad. And she has a cleanse capability, which I'm really excited to show you guys here. So take them down! This is the basic ability, deal physical damage to target enemy. And if no other allies have the leader tags, so no Piet, no Gideon, and more importantly, no Veers, she's going to deal damage 2 more times. And for each critical hit, Iden Versio recovers 5% health and protect. So the durability is hopefully going to be up there to a good amount. But if she's going to form a full second Imperial Trooper team out there and it's not Remnant, she's got to offer a lot more, which is why we're going to start seeing some more interesting stuff with Push Forward. And here's where you get a little bit of her droid sidekick here. I guess it maybe makes sense they didn't release it as a separate character. I would have loved to have another Imperial droid as a character playable in Galaxies. Who knows? Even for the droid nuke team with General Grievous. But nonetheless, it's going to be a character mix of Iden Versio. Push Forward, cooldown of 2, so very low cooldown. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict vulnerable for 2 turns. And dispel all buffs on target enemy. Inflict healing immunity for 2 turns and stun them for 1 turn. And these effects can't be resisted by Rebel enemies. We got a lot of anti-Rebel stuff going on. And we also have an Omicron that we got to talk about too. If no other allies have the leader tag, Call all other non-droid Imperial allies to assist. And that is incredibly important because Gideon and Veers, the reason why Imperial Troopers are so good is because they already have 2 mass swarm attacks. Well, if you can't use your Veers or Gideon or heck even Piet, well, you can't really do much of these guys, the leftovers. And we're going to talk about those leftover crew members in a moment. And so that mass swarm is going to be helpful because usually a core thing for bounty hunters, even things like Rebel Fighters and Imperial Troopers, you need like one good mass swarm character. So it's good to see that the second tier Imperial Trooper team is going to have some stuff. And here is something we've been asking for a long time. A way to cleanse Imperial Troopers. So although I didn't get the support tag right and I didn't get the Imperial Remnant tag right, I said we need a cleanse, and here we go. Dispel all debuffs on Imperial Trooper allies. And the good news is this part of the kit isn't tied to making sure you have no allied Imperial Troopers. So you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we could replace Shaak Ti for the Lord Vader counter. Throw her in there. You got a faster Imperial Trooper team. You're not going to be feeding Darth Vader on the Lord Vader team any extra speed because Shaak Ti is a Jedi. This could very well solidify the Imperial Trooper counter to Lord Vader. Let's keep reading though. Iden Versio gains 100% protection up for 2 turns, and all other Imperial Trooper allies gain 50% protection up. Imperial Trooper allies recover 35% protection again. So far, this part of her kit isn't tied to making sure there's no Veers or Piet, Gideon, leader-based allied characters on the team here. But here's where the second tier comes in here. If no other allies had leader tags, so making sure there's no Piet, yada, 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 all non-droid Imperial Trooper allies, they really want to make sure Dark Trooper does not end up on this team. They're going to gain We Adapt or Die for 3 turns, which can't be copied. And here's what it does. We Adapt or Die, 30% critical chance, 30% offense, and plus 30 speed. Revive with 70% health when defeated. So it kind of sounds like a backup plan situation that the Phoenix crew has. And if this spell, recover 80% health, gain 80% turn meter, and they can't be critically hit for 2 turns. That's going to address a lot of problems using a Garbanzo Bean Imperial Trooper team. They're going to put out more damage. They're going to get tons of speed. They're going to get tons of turn meter. They're going to be able to revive themselves as well. So it's almost kind of like a Gideon situation where you can revive your allies a few times on the Remnant team here. But this right here, as you guys know, Veers, Piet, Dark Trooper, they're coming back to the forefront as GL killers. And right now, you kind of need a fast Shaak Ti to make happen. I pulled it off several times this Grand Arena season, which helped me get to the top of the Grand Arena leaderboards for the first Grand Arena season we've had at the changes. Very important counter if you want to get around those Lord Vaders. And this right here is going to be huge. This has been a dream of mine for so many years. It's unfortunate Iden Versio is a bit more limited, but it's great seeing she can cleanse a normal Imperial Trooper team that we're used to seeing. But here's the leader ability. So far, she's already got a lot of great stuff for all these leftover characters. Maybe there really are the Imperial remnants. Give me a yeet, give me an air horn. You guys know that was funny. Here's the leader, exactly as planned. And we got a Grand Arena Omicron, which those are usually the more popular ones. Grand Arena seems to be more popular. Territory is the second. Territory battles is, yeah, you got people doing them, but they're not nearly as prominent out there. So Imperial Trooper allies have 35% critical chance, 35% offense, and 35 speed. That's more speed than what the Veers lead grants right there. And at the start of the battle, if no other allies have the leader tag, whenever a non-droid Imperial Trooper ally attacks on a turn, they gain a little bit of stacking offense by 2% each time until the end of the counter. So it's going to keep ramping. Critical damage up for 2 turns at the start of each encounter, have a 100% counter chance, and while enemies are vulnerable, they lose 25% speed. Ooh, that's not even the Omicron yet. Let's take a look at what we got here at the start of the battle. If no other allies have the leader tag, Imperial Trooper allies also gain 35% max health and protection, and whenever an enemy attacks on a turn, Imperial Trooper allies recover 20% health and protection and gain 10% turn meter. And I think this right here, if you're someone that doesn't believe in the login reward, well, now they should put it on your radar. I'm tired of hearing you guys saying the login reward doesn't mean anything. It means something 80% of the time. As we're seeing here, I am going to accept your formal apology and the triple like button as a sign that you're asking for forgiveness here. But jokes aside, Range Trooper is the login character for this month of January 2022, which kind of led us to our first speculation, and then the tweet with Iden Versio, yada, yada, yada. but the ability to get counterattacks, attacks on a turn, the passive assist with Range Trooper, this is going to be tough because Range Trooper is already kind of a staple with General Veers, Piet, and Dark Trooper. We'll have to wait and see how good this team is. If it's going to be worth justifying taking Range Trooper and throwing it in there. But the point I'm getting at, that's a lot of Terminator, health and protection duration. And with Gary the Stormtrooper taunting, that is going to be nice. Unique number 2, first and last out. The kit just keeps on going. And we do have 1 Zeta on this character. If no other allies have the leader tag, there are really so many conditions on this character. And all allies are non-droid Imperial Troopers. No Dark Trooper. Iden gains 100% turn meter. One more time. She's going to gain 100% turn meter at the start of each encounter. Keep reading. And whenever she's defeated, she revives with 100% health and protection. If there's another active Imperial Trooper ally, while Iden has protection up, she has 30% extra potency, and while she is active, Imperial Trooper allies have 30% offense. Wowza! That is a lot of stuff. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Mara Jade inside of Territories, but she needs the Omicron to do that. It also reminds me of Maul's Frenzy. It's very easy to get Maul's Frenzy to trigger, and Maul just does like 5 billion turns out the get-go, and then you do with someone else like Candace with the second special. Maul does another 5 million turns. This sounds exactly like that. As we're going to take a look with our leftover troopers, they're not really fast. They need someone to get them going. The fact that this is not tied to an Omicron, I'm guessing the Zetas is going to be tied to the 100% Terminator boost. You're going to be able to pop off some really serious plays, and I'm guessing you're going to start off with we can grieve later, so you get the we adapt or die, getting all this lovely stuff. That's going to be all the protection up and whatnot on the team here. And then you're going to transition into another mass swarm attack. Oh, man. That is a lot of fun stuff happening. And the fact that she's kind of like Newt Gunray, she's going to come back one more time with 100% health and protection. You got to, it's even better than Newt Gunray because Newt Gunray, he kind of loses all protection, just has the health. This is looking like a fun little trooper to add to the team. There has not been a trooper in a very long time that has disappointed me. And the fact that we're starting 2022 off of this is fantastic. Let's actually take a look over at the game so you can kind of see what we're looking at. Actually, let's take the dev boards for a moment. So here's what they're envisioning here. Squad 1, Veers, Gideon, Piet, Dark Trooper, and Stark. Yeah, it can maybe do stuff. I question if this is going to be as viable against the Darth Revan teams. As we saw, you guys someone get a clean 65 banner win up against a 379 speed Darth Revan. I don't think it would have been possible without the range troopers. So I feel like pulling out range is going to hurt this lineup a little bit. And Gideon, he's sometimes used in other type of lineups out there. But let's look at their ideal squad. They're looking at Iden Versio, Death Trooper, Range Trooper, or Shore Trooper. I think Shore Trooper might be a bit better in here because Range Trooper just, it's way too important for Dark Trooper to get out there so often. Snow Trooper and Magma Trooper. So it kind of almost feels like they're abandoning the notion of the Imperial Remnant team right now. The Imperial Remnant team, it wasn't a horrible team. The problem is it was incomplete. And the other problem that team had was it never had the complete 5th slot member. We needed one more good support Imperial Remnant to throw in the last slot. And of course, they screwed around with Range Trooper Stark. Imperial Remnants never took off, and the fact that they're now throwing Iden Versio to just pick up these leftovers, especially Snow Trooper and Magnus the Magma Trooper, it's really seeming like, and even Shore Trooper perhaps, and Death Trooper, which got a mini rework to work with Stormtrooper and Moff Gideon. Seems like the Moff Gideon Imperial Remnant team might be put to the side for a while. Might not happen, especially a lot of people were hoping that Scout Trooper would come to the game at some point. But this is going to be looking a very interesting, especially Snow Trooper and Magma Trooper. Those are usually the two that, and even Gary. Throw Gary in there. Gary never usually gets his opportunity to shine. Unless you're using it with Lord Vader, I suppose, in that circumstance. But Magnus, the Magma Trooper, man, this guy was one of my boys way back in the day when the game first came out of Magma Trooper. People hated on it. I found ways to use this guy and made him meta when it wasn't cool. We made the Thrawn Magma Trooper counter work against Trey. Classic days. Tons of turn meter removal on this team. And hopefully we're going to find ways to get him tons of more turn meter on this character. And the offense is going to be really helpful, especially when you're looking at Elsa the Snow Trooper. She wants to slay some rebels. I'll tell you this. Look at that, 30% turn meter whenever another unit is defeated. So this might be pretty legit. And the fact that they're going to be feeding extra critical damage to the team. Ooh. It's a very interesting character. I'm seeing Iden Versio, one, yes, taking over leftovers. And if she can, man, I'd be really impressed if in a grand arena setting, she can take a leftover Imperial Trooper squad and take out a Commander Luke. That might be a pipe dream. Who knows? Maybe even the deadly Mo Money Kyle Katarn team that we're seeing out there. But I do like the fact that at the minimum, we gotta wait and see, making sure that they maybe didn't oversell this kit. But she, depending on how her speed is, because remember, in the Veers lineup, he's the leader. And unfortunately, she will not get the 100% Terminator if Veers, Piet, Gideon are on the team. If she's a fast character, she might be a decent replacement for Shakti, but she needs to be faster than the rest of the team so she can clean up all the dazes. Have to wait and see, but overall, very exciting character. Looking forward to what our testing is going to be. I suspect it's going to be marquee, and usually how it works, Tuesday's kit reveal day, and Thursday is going to be the day she comes out. So if you want to see the Whaler field, and if you want to see, is she going to take the Empire to new heights? Well, I hear there's an Imperial fanatic out there, someone that wants to make sure you get all that intel. Man, I'm excited. Great way to start out 2022 with a little bit of Imperial momentum, my friends. Leave a like, comment down below on all your thoughts. And I guess since there's a new Imperial for the new year, I suppose we can say that it's great to be in the Empire today.